EGM Network.
Welcome to the Lori Davis Show, where it's all about the amazing lifestyle on our Treasure Coast. And here's your host and realtor for life, Lori Davis.
Hello, and welcome to the show. Today, we're talking our topic. It's time to think about that 6 months out of the year where we have that hurricane season. Now, we do have something that'll help us with the hurricane season, and that has to do with the beverage that Chef Scott Verricchio has provided from Citrus Grill House today. So we're gonna make it through. But I'm Lori Davis. This is the Lori Davis Show. We are sponsored by Dale Sorensen Real Estate. I'm Lori Davis. I am your realtor for life. And the show is talking about lifestyle. It talks about Vero Beach, kind of what's going on around town. Why do people like Vero Beach? It's not for hurricanes, but hurricanes are, weather events happen. And so we have to be prepared for that. So we have somebody on the show today who's going to help talk about what we can do, what we should do, what we should pay attention to, and other fun stories, which I hope I'm looking forward to getting to that. There are now the names of the hurricanes. Cindy, the list is out.
Okay.
Drum roll.
Okay. Well, I don't have a drum roll, so we're just going to go like this.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, here they are. This is the Atlantic hurricane season.
Yeah,
okay?
that's us.
Arthur, thank you. Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly, Eduard, Faye, Gonzalo, Hannah, Isaias, Josephine, Kyle, Leah, Marco, Nana, Omar, Paulette, Renee, Sally, Teddy. I like Teddy.
Yeah.
That's a Teddy, Hurricane Teddy. Vicky and Wilfred. So those are the names. Now, we found today that they didn't do an X, Y, and a Z. So I guess they just stop at W. But there are your hurricanes for the year.
Yeah.
That's what's going to come up. And so many of those end up being like, they get used up with a system, right? They don't actually become hurricanes. They're an Atlantic system of some kind. What do they call it?
Tropical storm?
Yeah, they could be a tropical storm.
You know what? I'm confused about that. We got to find somebody because a lot of those names, I remember.
Yeah. Yes, because I read today that they said they wouldn't use one that caused a great amount of damage.
Substantial damage, yeah.
But okay, we'll be talking about that next week.
Yeah, we will. Okay.
So we got 6 months to talk about it.
We do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We do. We talk about what's happening in Vero Beach because why are people in Vero? Why would they pick Vero versus any other place? Right now, it's kind of quiet. Season is over. But now we have that wonderful summertime in Vero Beach where everybody loves to come. We still get a lot of people at the hotels. Ocean Drive is still packed. The restaurants are all very happy. Riverside Theater just keeps rolling along. We love those guys. Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, they do music in the Loop. We love that. Bring your chairs, watch the music. It's free. You don't have to pay for anything. You can go up and buy some food there or beverages. Or you can have your own. You're not supposed to, but nobody's really going to bother you about that. I love that. Now I saw Trike Wars was going to go on at Sailfish Brewery on June 5th, but Sailfish Brewery over on Flamevine has closed. So, but they said this is a celebration block party, so they might just bring it back for one last time, and that would be next Friday, June 5th. Okay. So, yeah, that'd be good. Thank you, Chef Scott Verricchio from Citrus Grill House. We love you, and we love your beverages. Although, shout out to Tracy Zudan. She was one. I said, we got to get a drink for this week. And she's like, it's a hurricane. And of course it's a hurricane.
Bada bing.
There's a drink. It's light rum, dark rum. Christy and I had to look it up. There's some fruit juices, lime juice, pineapple juice. We think there's some mango in it. Thank you, Alex, for not putting the simple syrup. And what's that red stuff, Cindy?
Oh, grenadine?
I don't like that.
I don't.
He knows I don't like that. That's why there's no red. But it's delicious. It's a very fruity concoction. Yeah. It's rum. Mm-hmm.
I'm laughing with you because I want to say when the hurricanes come along, depending on how many nights you're in or days you're in, it's just any concoction you can possibly come up with.
Whatever juice you have. Maybe that's where it came from. Was like, I got pineapple, I got orange, I got some guava. Let's go.
Let's put it in there and some pickle juice or something.
That too.
Yeah.
Anyways, go see Citrus Grow House. Go see Chef and this team over there, 1060 Easter Lily Lane, right there next to Hummuston Park, directly on the ocean. You can eat out on the patio. You can eat inside. It's fabulous. If it's not fresh, they are not serving it. He's cutting fresh fish every day. Love going over there. Great specials. So even if you know the menu, just roll up because there's always something really fun happening over there. It's so good. Thank you, Chef Scott.
Life.
Chef for life. Yes. Yep. And sorry to scare you. They called me a Cat 4. Lori Davis, a Cat 4 hurricane. I was like, oh, what did I do to deserve that? I earned every bit of that. So anyway, today our guest is Ryan Lloyd. He is Deputy Director, Emergency Management Chief of Indian River County. His team is responsible for developing, coordinating, and promoting comprehensive emergency plans for all disaster events in Indian River County. Hurricane season is June 1 until November 30 every year, but you handle and they handle all emergencies here in the county. So, but we're focusing on hurricanes because the names all just came out. Ryan, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you, Lori. I appreciate it. And good afternoon, Indian River County, or good morning, depending on when you listen to this.
That's right, because it could be on the podcast. It could be at any time. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what emergency management in Indian River County does.
So for starters, we coordinate and also manage the emergency management plans. And then that goes into mitigation, response, and recovery. So FEMA has 5 basic mission areas: prevention, protection, mitigation, response, and recovery. And we facilitate the majority of those different 5 mission areas. So we look at what the threats are for the county, and then we try to plan accordingly, and then, be ready to manage a disaster if one should, affect our community.
Right. So, like when we get to a situation of a drought, like there might be a fire, would you guys be involved in that?
We could, yes, especially if there was population protective measures or mass care needs if people were displaced from their homes. I work out of the Indian River County Emergency Operations Center, and we can activate that center if we feel that a situation, emergency, or disaster warrants doing so, and then we can go to 24-hour operations in there. Right. And then from that point, then we go ahead and we do what we need to manage the incident. That's great.
Now, when we talk about hurricanes, because that right now is going to be on the forefront of everybody's mind, even though it's so dry, you better be thinking about fire too. People don't be just throwing things out the window. Don't be very careful with fire right now. So now there are this Colorado state forecast that comes out. What does that mean to us here in Florida?
Well, so Colorado State University, they've been doing the hurricane forecasting for a very long time, and they're usually the first entity that puts out a forecast. And so they came out in April, and they were predicting a slightly below normal season. And then here just last week, I think it was Friday, the National Hurricane Center then came out with the forecast. And, we think Colorado, we certainly look and review their forecast, but we spend a lot of time with the National Hurricane Center's forecast as well.
Yeah. And it's so funny because when these hurricanes come, and of course they start 3 weeks off the coast of Africa, right? And we're following them along, going across, that kind of thing. But the funny thing is, the spaghetti models, right? You see all these spaghetti. It looks like spaghetti, right? The one that I find is the European model. Tends to be a better forecast. But are you guys looking at the ones, are you just looking at it all and just synthesizing that down? So
we look at it all and start synthesizing it down. Yeah. Regardless of which model is correct, we have to do the protective measures for our county and our citizens. Right. So we listen to the guidance from the National Hurricane Center, and then we also have a very close partnership with the National Weather Service in Melbourne. We have them on speed dial, and they have us on speed dial as well. So we get most of our meteorology information from that source. Yeah. You were at our sales meeting. Thank you so much at Dale Sorensen Real Estate. Ryan came to talk to us directly. We appreciate that, and we thank you very much. You talked a little bit about storm surge, because that's kind of something that a lot of people don't think about. There's also flooding, because storm surge is one thing, and then flooding neighborhoods, that's a whole nother ballgame. Talk to us about the storm surge and how can you protect from that? I mean, what do you do? Well, the first thing is to know your home and know your zone. Do you live in a flood zone or a storm surge zone? And there are online maps that are readily available that you can just query your own address. And if you do, then obviously your risks are much higher. When we think about hurricanes, obviously the wind is a concern. But when you think of a catastrophic hurricane, the major hurricanes, categories 3, 4, and 5, the really highest portion of the winds are centralized around the eye.
Right.
So if you're going to be in the direct path of landfall for the eye, then those 150, 160 mile per hour winds could hit your community.
Yeah.
But as you get away from the eye, then those winds start to die down a little bit.
Right.
And so our main concern usually, unless we're in the direct path, is water.
Okay.
And that comes in the form of rain and obviously storm surge.
Right.
The amount of rain we get, the amount of storm surge we get is directly correlated with the size of the storm, where we're at in location of the storm where it's making landfall, and also the speed of the storm as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That thing just sits there, and it just keeps. I know we've all been through this. All three of us here have been through
later,
2004 with Francis and Jean, and it was just 10 days apart. And you got the 1-2 punch. Just when you thought it was over, it just she looped around out in the ocean.
Charlie's coming.
Charlie.
Oh, who else?
I know.
A whole bunch.
I know. It was terrible.
That was a terrible season, wasn't it?
That was.
It really was.
That was. I have a little PTSD from that. So people want to know, because they'll say, because mainland people, I mean, I'm an island person. When they say evacuate the island, I leave. I don't hang around. Now, but some people have impact windows and doors. They have a newer roof, and they have a generator. What would be your advice to someone who has that?
Every citizen, every homeowner needs to evaluate their situation and know their home.
Right.
What is the resiliency or the expected resiliency of your home?
Okay.
As you just said, there are different mitigating factors in terms of new roofs. And the roofs today are certainly a lot better than what they were, 20, 30, 40 years ago. The impact window certainly reduces a lot of work with shutters or trying to go out and buy plywood. So knowing your home and really the resiliency of it is key.
Yes.
And then having the thresholds of when you feel it's the most appropriate for your family to evacuate. Let me just say this. When it comes to mandatory evacuations, we take it very serious because we know it uproots people's lives and it costs a lot of money, and it just basically is a disruption to normal living. If we order a mandatory evacuation, what you're typically going to hear is this: areas east of US 1, folks with vulnerable housing, people that have special, needs or medical needs, and also for people that live in known flood zones or low-lying areas. That's what you're typically going to hear.
Okay.
And if we issue that mandatory evacuation, we ask that you please heed it, because we're trying to make the best decision for everyone's safety based on the circumstances and the facts that we have at the time.
Right. And you were talking about at our meeting, I saw the taped show, find a place to go, have a couple hotels, right?
Yep.
What you were saying, you need to have kind of a plan, right? We didn't have a plan. Jim and I. And then, we came back to see our house, which is no power, right? And we did not have a generator, all of that. And it's August and it's hot as all get out. And we just turned around and went back to another hotel in Orlando because there was no place to go. So you don't tell people where to go, but it's important to know your evacuation route. Is that correct?
It is important to know your evacuation route. And everybody, especially living along the Atlantic coast, we need to have a hurricane plan and a disaster plan. I know today's show is really focused on hurricanes.
Yes.
But the amount of planning and preparation that you take as a family member is directly correlated to how well you're going to fare should we ever get hit with another major hurricane. And I can't emphasize that enough. We have so many newer people in our community that have not been through a major hurricane. And if you do not have good plans, you're going to struggle.
Yes.
The food flies off the shelf at our grocery stores very quick. The gas dries up very quick.
I know.
And if you do not have good planning, it's going to be a struggle to get through the hurricane with as less difficulty as possible.
I know. It is so true. I forget about how many people, because we had Wilma, and then we had some other ones, and they were still an active hurricane. I don't know if Wilma was a Cat 3, but it would be. I just think, people don't think about it. They don't think about it. If you were to, you decide not to leave. I've heard you're not coming to get them. Is that true?
There will come a point in time if we do take a hurricane impact when emergency services and emergency response will shut down.
Yeah.
Typically, that's around the 45, 50, 55 mile per hour sustained winds.
Yes.
And at that point in time, it's no longer safe for the first responders to go out. We're not going to jeopardize the first responders for bad decisions that were made. So, yes, during the storm, the people that like to stay are on their own until the conditions clear up well enough for response can resume.
Yeah, it is. We've been there, and there for us on the island, we can't go over the bridge. They'll shut the bridge down. So, and it's 60 miles an hour?
It varies.
Does it? Okay. That's because it's like you're not getting off. And Jim and I always leave early. We're like, we want to get ahead of it. People that wait till the last minute, you're stuck on the roads, whether you're going 95, you're going Route 60, going west. All those people that got stuck trying to get to Tampa, road is just blocked. It's you really need to pay attention.
Sure.
And just go a couple days ahead. Go have a vacation. Just do something. Put yourself in a safe place.
Yep.
Correct.
If I had any recommendation in terms of your evacuation plans, is have a handful, 3, 5, 7 hotels that you already got their phone numbers.
Oh yeah.
And if there is a major system that's going to be affecting us, make your reservations early.
Yeah.
And if you're able to cancel, then cancel. But I think it's really important that if you are going to evacuate, if it's possible, go somewhere that you're familiar with.
Yes.
Somewhere that you've been before, if it's possible, and somewhere that maybe you have been comfortable in the past.
Right.
Because what we have to figure is in a major situation or major storm impact, 3, 5, 7 days of the normal conveniences we have and expectation of are not going to be there.
They're not.
They're really
There's no
not.
power. There might not be any water. There might not be any of that. So anyway, well, let's do this. We've got so much more to talk about. We will pay for this with a commercial. So we're going to take a break with Ryan Lloyd here from the Emergency Management Services. He's our director, and he's going to tell us more about what we should do. It's not just hurricanes, guys. There's other things you got to pay attention to, but we're focusing a little on hurricanes today. We'll be right back.
Tired of pool chores draining your weekend? Deja Blue Pool Service provides the expert skimming and chemical balancing you need for a crystal clear paradise. For Vero's most reliable professional care, Google Deja Blue Pool Service. Keep it clean, keep it blue.
Hi, I'm Ryan, owner of Treasure Coast Tree and Land Services. When it comes to your property, there's a difference between some guy with a chainsaw and a certified arborist. Don't take chances with your property. Make sure your tree company is certified, licensed, and insured. Call the professionals, Treasure Coast Tree and Land Services. If you're in the IRC, call Treasure Coast Trees.
Welcome to Riverside Theater's Comedy Zone, where the comedy is wild, untamed, and downright hilarious. Hit the zone this Friday and Saturday night at 6:30 and 8:30 for the Treasure Coast's best live stand-up comedy show, featuring nationally recognized comedians with cabaret-style seating and food and drink table service. Buy tickets at riversidetheater.com and get ready for a night of non-stop laughs.
At lunchtime, enjoy a southern home-cooked meal paired with the best sweet tea in town at Marsh Landing. You'll love our daily lunch specials like chicken and dumplings every Thursday, or one of our juicy half-pound burgers. Experience old Florida cuisine at Marsh Landing in Fellsmere.
Are you becoming a realtor, contractor, mold remediator, guardian? In the state of Florida, these and many other industries require a Level 2 live scan background check for clearance to work in your industry. A1A Fingerprints is your certified live scan source from Broward to Brevard. And if you're a medical provider, you need to be registered on the ACA web portal. A1A Fingerprints will help you navigate and comply with the law. Call 772-494-6556 or visit a1afingerprints.com. A1A Fingerprints.
Hey there. We are here with Ryan Lloyd from the Emergency Management Indian River County, and they are here to take care of us in any type of event that we need emergency services, okay? It's not just hurricanes, but since that's kind of in the forefront of our frontal lobe, that's what we're talking about today. Ryan, for new residents moving to the Treasure Coast, what are the first 3 things every household should do before the hurricane season peaks?
Well, number one, make a plan, and right now is the time to be making the plan, and start getting your supplies ahead of time. Again, if I advocate, our program advocates to have at least 7 days of self-sufficient supplies built up.
Okay.
And you don't have to do that all in one weekend. You can build that out over time and shop sales and deals.
Yeah.
Another thing, too, is if you have a generator, if you don't have a generator, you should consider getting one. But with that said, make sure you know how to safely use it. Know how to understand the operations of it. Generators can be very intimidating for folks that have never, used those type of pieces of equipment.
I agree.
Make sure you got a carbon monoxide detector inside your home, and that you run the generator well away from the exterior of your house. Never run the generator inside.
No.
So.
And people do, and people put them in their garage. They don't realize it's coming into the house. It's got to be away from the outside of your house.
Yeah, and during the commercial we were talking, it's very important as well to have cash. If a hurricane approaches, we lose our power, the credit cards are likely not going to work.
That's right.
So cash becomes pretty much the way of transactions for getting things.
That's true. So you talked about food. We need some gas.
Yep.
Gas up your car when it's time. Yep. You might have to wait a little bit, but it's really important to have a full tank of gas.
Yep.
Because if you're living in a place where they say you got to go, then you're ready to go.
And do not cut in line at the gas station during a hurricane event. You shouldn't do it
did your
anyway,
mother teach you? I know, don't cut in line.
And get the LP gas and all that stuff.
Yes. Yeah, because you barbecue a lot.
Yep.
You can do that. So get a couple of canisters of gas there, and then you got your food. And I always love when people get together and they have like a street party when all the frozen food and everybody pulls out their gas. I mean, it's really kind of fun. I mean, people do come together in those types of situations.
Yep.
And Vero Beach is that kind of town. That's why you pick Vero Beach, because neighbors take care of neighbors. It's really kind of cool. Tell us a little bit about shelters, though. There are shelters available.
So when we order an evacuation, we don't even have to order an evacuation, but when a hurricane does approach our community, we do activate emergency shelters, and they typically serve as our schools.
Okay.
So we have 15 shelters, one of which is a pet-friendly shelter, and then one is a special needs shelter for people that have some, typically it's an electrically dependent medical need.
Sure.
We do not provide medical care at the special needs shelter, but people can bring one caregiver with them for the duration. We do ask that people please pre-register for the special needs shelter.
Okay.
And they can do that by calling 772-226-3900. They can also email emergency management at indianriver.gov.
That's great. No, that I think is a very important point. If you're going to need it, and they will have generators, so they're not going to lose power. When you're at a shelter.
Not all the schools have generators.
No, but I'm saying the emergency, the one that has special needs is they're gonna stay on board.
And if you go to the pet friendly shelter, make sure that your pets are current on vaccinations. It will be checked, and if they aren't, then you're not going to be able to get in.
That's right. So you guys really do. You have a plan. Now we got to make sure everybody else out there has a plan.
That's it.
So, okay, I've got a couple quick questions for you. This is my lightning round for Ryan Lloyd as it relates to hurricanes. Hurricane snacks, chips or cookies?
Cookies.
Oh, generator or candles?
Generator.
100%. What is the first thing you personally do when a storm is named?
I wonder if that's a person I knew from the past.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
it
came back to haunt you.
What is the hardest item to find in stores before a storm?
Water.
What is the funniest thing that people panic by?
The news.
The news?
Media.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. Favorite local comfort food after a long emergency day? It's over.
Citrus, orange, if it's available.
I love that.
Yep.
Yes, get us some local oranges. If you weren't in emergency management, what would your dream job be?
I would like to work in the railroad industry if I was in emergency management as a conductor or engineer.
I love that. Ryan Lloyd, thank you so much for being here today. Indian River County, we feel so much safer having you here in charge of all of that. You guys be safe out there. Call the county if you have any questions, if you see this show. Register at your shelters. Everybody be good, be safe out there. And remember, it's coming up, so make a little bit of a plan and be ready when it happens. Have a great day. Thank you so much for coming, and we will see you here next week.